There is no greater opening for tragedy than a stupid exercise of power. Each man at the peak of absolute power usually prunes the undergrowths who are his closest brothers and friends. These are the very ones who will betray his secrets one day. But not President Buhari, who leveraged on our fantasies, friends, and relations for sustainability because of overwhelming gratitude and his way of existence. Therefore, when Abraham Emarima came to reside in serene, exclusive lodge environment of the palatial presidential Asorock villa, nobody envisaged the egregious innuendos that would be raised due to familiarity and wanton cocoon of jealousy flavored by feminine malice. Holistically, women are implanted with hostile stigma that tend to abhor any relationship from the husband's side of the family. It ignites the awkward symptom of bipolar in them. Only on few occasions could you see a woman wholly playing heartfelt hospitality to other sides of the family. The former president, Muhammadu Buhari, married 2 wives, Safinatu Buhari, who has 6 children with him before they divorced. Unfortunately, Safinatu died of diabetes, and Buhari went on to marry Aisha in later years, who also gave him 6 children, thus the beginning of the making of an extended family members that elongated to encapsulate the first in-laws. Ibrahim Emarima was a distant cousin of Safinatu, who had come to live with the family when she was still married to Buhari. The African culture of extended family accommodates all sides of both conjugal affiliation extending to distant cousins. And when Buhari was made president, he remembered old favors and therefore brought Ibrahim to Asorock to live with them. On his own side, Ibrahim was an uncut ruby who used to hustle recharge cards in motor parks and popular streets of Daura. The serendipity in his life most extensively charged the battery of pride, pomposity, and egotism that brought unnecessary strife in the residence. Worthy of note was the essential history of Daura in the whole of Hausa land. Demographically, it has Hausa majority and Fulani minority, and it is the Fulani jihad that led to the establishment of Daura and even Katsina as emirates. It was among the last states that was conquered by the Fulani due to the existence of a strong traditional religious group called the Magzawa. Until today, the Magzawa still exists in Katsina State, which was among the Hausa Bokwai state. The Hausa people were known to have originated from the marriage of one Bayajida and a certain queen of Daura. Bayajida was a prince who fled by that and sought refuge in Bonu. Here he married the daughter of Maya. However, owing to the treachery of his father-in-law, he abandoned his followers and fled westwards with his wife. He left his wife at a town called Biran Lagaba to bear a son while he continued on his journey. At a town called Gaya, he got a blacksmith to make him a sword with which he later slaughtered a sacred snake called Zaraki, the king, in the town of Daura. This dangerous snake had all along prevented the townspeople from drawing water from their well on all days except Friday. In appreciation of Bayajida's service to her people, and perhaps in admiration of his valor, the queen of Daura consented to marry him. Through the marriage, Bayajida became the king and undisputed ruler of Daura. Bayajida and his queen produced a son called Bawa, who in turn begot 7 sons, namely Hiram, Daura, Kanu, Rano, Katsina, Zaria, Zazu, and Gobi. According to tradition, these 7 sons of Bawa were the founders of the 7 pure Hausa states, Hausa Bokwai, which bore their names. These sons of Bawa were assigned duties which they will perform for common good. Gobi, the youngest, became the war leader, Kanu and Rano the chiefs of Indigo, while Daura and Katsina became chiefs of trade. Zaria was made the chief of slaves, while Biran, the first son, was not given any specific duty. Then King Bayajida had another set of 7 children from a Wari slave woman. These illegitimate children founded the 7 bastard Hausa states: Banza Bakwai, namely Zamfara, Kebbi, Kwari, Yauri, Nupe, Yoruba, Ilorin, and Warafa, Jokum. Thus, Daura was a major stockholder in the origin of Hausa states. Ibrahim Umarima was a distant cousin of Zafinatu from Kankara, where the 300 children were kidnapped. His presence at the villa was an aberration to Aisha, who was in contention with the first wife. She made every attempt to stop Ibrahim from residing in the villa, but her husband refuted all her egregious moves to remove his in-law from Asorock. Ibrahim had grown with the family when Zafinatu held side and had served the family to the best of his knowledge. When he was discovered languishing in poverty, Buhari made haste to reward his subservient accomplishments when his first wife was still alive. There were strict conditions laid down by Aisha under which Ibrahim would be allowed to reside in the villa with the family. First, he was restricted to bring his wife or family inside the villa. His presence was synonymous to that of a servant, and he was not required to ferret any news inside the family to the outside world. These austere conditions were not to the knowledge of the president, who heartedly accepted the young man as a member of the family. So when the outrageous news floated on the air that Buhari married his daughter's secondary school friend, it was easy to lay the blame on Ibrahim. The story was that Aisha was the bosom friend of Fatima, the first daughter of the family, and was a constant visitor to her friend. There was no substantial ground to the story except to make the president look like a pedophile. Such story also floated when Wole Soyinka married an 18-year-old girl that was the same age with his daughter. His wife, a librarian at the University of Ibadan, acceded to the story. There are so many levels of hell, and Aisha gave Abraham the highest at the villa. She was convinced the salacious story was carried out by none other but Ibrahim. Her conviction and utmost effort to ally her husband to side with her fell on deaf ears. She was absolutely alone in her inordinate assumptions. The story made horrible headlines in malicious social platforms. Antagonists of Buhari government disseminated the stories with wild abandon, not minding the desultory effect it carried in Nigerian politics, where statesmen are grossly lacking and only politicians exist. Nobody is going to resign for such flamboyant, colorful eulogy in Nigeria. Instead, the individual will greatly be praised for self-indulgence, which is the bane of the Nigerian faithful. So, the wild echoes of pedophile ended in favorable crescendo. The young man Ibrahim Rima rode in his serendipity and acquired a novel-rich property at Surrey, Lagos, where he left his family. Whenever he visited, he cruised in expensive jeeps in exhibition of his newfound wealth. He had other concubines scattered around the country, and he equitably shared his wealth among them. While in Lagos on this visit, he bought a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser for his wife and small Camry for his sister-in-law, who was their nanny. The rascality with which the political class lavished Nigerian resources kept one in shock. This was a recharge card seller in the street of Daura a few months back. He also visited another mistress at a Lorraine and squandered Nigerian money on her birthday. He closed a deal on a new property for her mistress as a birthday present and also gifted her a brand new Venza car and a flamboyant fund for days in Dubai. This frequent hedonism aggressively hyped Aisha's summation of the damage Ibrahim was causing to her husband's profile in the society. She had set up a detective who had narrated all the extravagant spending done by Ibrahim, and she had wondered where all the funds were coming from. So it became a serious time for reckoning when Ibrahim returned to the villa. She gave him a short grace of 1 week, then approached him for explanation. Ibrahim, I have been on you to deliver an exigent document for me. Where have you been? Aisha asked, a matronly beautiful cemetery smeared with suspicion. Inshallah, madam, I've been to Lagos to visit my family. Why Lagos, Ibrahim? That's where I found comfort, madam. And Baba, does he know of your movement? Inshallah, he knows everything. Who owns the house at Lagos? Aisha contained her anger because her husband hadn't known of his absence. Haba, madam, I rented it for my family. If I tell you that the deed was registered in your name, what will you say, Ibrahim? Allah Kabar, I'm a rumor landlord, madam. A rumor landlord? You are the owner of the house. Don't ever lie to me, Ibrahim. Well, if it is my house, what concern is it to you? It is of my concern because you are in it, Ibrahim. Why? I paid for the house with my own salary. Salary my food. How much do you earn? Ask Baba, and sure he will tell you. But I'm asking you, Ibrahim. Haba, madam, how do you expect me to answer you? Your husband will be in a better position to give you a rundown of my salary and the cars you bought. Where do you get the money? Haba, madam, it looks like you are stalking me. I won't even visit my family without the heaven coming down. People are talking about your spendthrift. You are spending money like you've made of it. You've lavished almost 1 billion naira on cars and expect people not to see. I bought a small car for school run for my children, madam. And explicitly lavishing Land Cruiser and a white customized Venza car for school run. Your spy is completely wrong. I never made those type of cars. You are a pathological liar, and your extravagant spending will further endanger the profile of my husband. You have to leave here at once. You can't throw me out without Baba knowing. Ask him if he wants me to go, and I will go. You are leaving now. Isa, take him out of this compound. Madam, please don't create unnecessary drama. I will go if you want me to go. Ibrahim started out of the lodge, but Aisha followed him with two of his aides. They made to the door, and Ibrahim stopped. Haba, madam, what have I done? Get out and stay out. You are nothing but a nuisance. Keep moving, Ibrahim. Isa commanded in his deep voice. Don't tell me what to do, Isa. You are only a servant in this villa. Shoot him, Isa. Aisha commanded her aide. Ibrahim started running, and before he could gain the 15-foot fence that divided the presidential residence and the servants' quarter, the service pistol in Isa's hand exploded in fury. It exhibited the fear already in Ibrahim, and he jumped through the fence and landed in the other compound. Ibrahim presently resides in Sulere with his family, and the story is